the Watergate complex. Now some of you might be saying, what on earth is Rabbi talking about? Watergate, when we think of Watergate, what do we think of?
Bill Clinton.
No,
not Bill Clinton. Nixon.
We think of Richard Nixon, and we think of the scandal of the early 70s and Richard Nixon. And we know that the burglars broke into the Watergate, remember, and they got arrested, and there was a whole machaya, and that eventually led to the downfall of Richard Milhouse Nixon. However, the word of Yahweh refers to the Watergate long before the Watergate was a part of American political history. So again, if you'd allow me this afternoon, the name of the message, Meeting at the Watergate Complex. Yom Teruah-A is all about meeting at the Watergate Complex. But we are not crooks. We are the righteous of Yahweh. But we still need to meet at the Watergate Complex to understand the true meaning of Yom Teruah-A. If we're going to understand the true meaning of Yom Teruah-A, we need to meet, you and I, he and she, brother and sister. We need to meet. Because if we don't meet at the Watergate Complex, you're going to get a wrong understanding of what Yom Teruah-A is really all about. Turn with me, please, to Nehemiah chapter 8. Nehemiah, chapter 8. Again, this message is, Brother Emmett, is meeting
at the Watergate Complex.
I hope this meeting doesn't cause you to have a complex. But on the other hand, you need to be at the Watergate Complex. Because any other place you meet for Yom Teruah is not going to give you a true understanding of what this day is really all about. Now, I'm going to preach and teach just like I've always preached and teach, and I'm not going to tone it down because we are in the brother's house. And neither do I expect you to tone it down. Amen. Baruch Hashem Yahweh. Turn to your neighbor. The whole Megillah stays the same. Nothing changes. Can I hear a good amen? Amen. Nehemiah, chapter 8 and verse number 1. The Jewish people came out of Bavel. What is Bavel? Babylon. And all the people gathered themselves together as Echad.
Amen.
Into the street. They were Echad in the street. That was before the Watergate. There it is. You see that? Before the Watergate. And they spoke to Ezra, the Sofer, the scribe, to bring out the scroll of the Torah of Moshe that Yahweh had commanded to Israel. So the first thing we want to see is when we meet at the Watergate, the first thing we want to see is there is no church. The second thing we want to see is that there is no synagogue. We have the people returning to the Commonwealth of Israel after many years in Bavel. And the only thing the people of Israel have, in this context, Jewish Israel, is the public reading of Torah. That's all we really have. Everything after the Torah is commentary. The 5 books of Moses is the foundation of Moshe. Chamisha, Chumshe, Torah is the foundation of our faith. Everything else is commentary. Everything else is an explanation. Amen. So Teruah, number 1, is a time to publicly read Torah. And Yah knows we publicly read Torah today, number 1. Number 2, Teruah is a time, as we learned earlier, to remember the past, the creation of the world, and the future recreation of the world through Yeshua's return at this very season, as Brother Darrell pointed out. It is a day to blow the shofars and remember our national calling, our commission and raison d'etre. I think I did that pretty good, Sharona. Our reason for being. The Torah serves us as the best reminder of why we blow the shofar. To remember both the past and the future creation of the world when Yeshua returns. Now look at verse 2. So why are we blowing the shofars, Rachel? To remember the past creation and the future recreation of the world when Yeshua returns. And thus we fulfill the commandment in Vayikra 23, 24, and 25. Verse 2. And Ezra the Kohen, now where's all this taking place, Shoshi? Where's all this taking place? At the water gate. At the water gate. Yahweh wants Yisrael to come together for Yom Teruah at the water gate. How many say, yes, we are at the gate today drinking water. Baruch Hashem Yahweh. We are at Yahweh's gate today drinking Mayim Chayim. Come on, somebody. Baruch Hashem Yahweh. We are at the gate, at the water gate today, drinking Mayim Chayim. Now, when are we supposed to drink? It's true, we're also always supposed to drink of the Ruach HaKodesh, but there are specific days for excessive drinking and excessive celebration, and I'm talking about the Kadosh drinking, the drinking of the new wine of the Ruach HaKodesh and of the things of Yahweh. So this is a day to be at the water gate, at the gate where we get Chayim, Mayim Chayim. Amen. Can I hear a good amen? Amen. You're so quiet on me today, my goodness. Amen. Verse 2. And Ezra the Kohen, now look at this. They brought out the Torah, look at verse 2. Ezra the Kohen brought out the Torah before the congregation, both men and women. Meaning women can hear and study Torah. Contrary to Rabbinic Judaism, where women are treated as second-class citizens, in the Commonwealth of Israel, women can study and learn Torah. Amen. Why not? Why not? That's right. Woman is taken from our what? Our side, our rib. Why not? If men can study Torah, certainly women should also be here to hear and to study the Torah. Faith comes by hearing, and hearing by the word of Yahweh. And Ezra the Kohen brought the Torah before the congregation, both men and women, all who could hear with binah, understanding. Now notice, upon the first day of the 7th month, which is Yom Teruah. Notice. So this meeting at the Watergate takes place on the first day of the 7th month. He brought out the Torah, Ezra, and read it before the entire congregation. Brothers and sisters, it is the job of the man of Yahweh, number 1, to know and teach the people the true meanings of Torah. Number 2, to teach us the need to know all of Torah. The purpose of the Mikra Kodesh, the assembly, is not merely to hear and build our faith, but to restore long-held truths like plural marriage, and to have granted to us long-held truths restored based on Yahweh's perspective on these issues. Issues that have been forgotten. Issues that have been lacking understanding as to their significance. So the people of Israel had been in Babylon for how many years? For 70 years. What people of Israel? Jewish Israel. They came back and they didn't know nothing about nothing. They had forgotten everything that they had ever learned. The Moadim, Sukkot, all these things. So the first thing Yeshua does, through Ezra, the Sofer, he calls a Mikra Kodesh, notice, not in a church, not in a synagogue, but out in the open, in the public square. And he invites men and women to come in and to hear the word of Yahweh. Amen? There's no building here. Meeting in our brother's home, there's no building. It's just a home. It's a public meeting, yes, by invitation only. I'll say that again. It is a public meeting, pero by invitation only. Can I hear a good amen? Amen. And you are